The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their big offseason signing from Michigan State in his 7th year. It's the veteran Kirk Cousins.
I do hear some mild criticism of Kirk Cousins and his play the last few seasons in Washington, mainly because the team was just 24, 23-1. But I also saw a quarterback with an offensive line that essentially introduced itself to each other in the huddle before the first snap. In Seattle, that's one of the best defense in the NFL. Win that game with big plays late. This is a tough-minded, hard-nosed, gritty quarterback that tends to inspire a team to play better around him.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Mankato's own Adam Thielen is coming off of a 91-catch, 1,000-yard season, and his first Pro Bowl selection. And how about his backstory? A walk-on in college at Minnesota State, an undrafted free agent who made it through a tryout with the Minnesota Vikings, played special teams first, and now is a full-time, big-time wide receiver.
On the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd down, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
Free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. Back deep for the Redskins, Jamison Crowder. That's pulled in at the 32. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. It'll be the #1 pick from back in 2005, leading him onto the field. Their 14-year veteran out of Utah, it's Alex Smith.
And despite another terrific season from Alex Smith in Kansas City, Kansas City knew from the moment Patrick Mahomes was drafted, this day was going to come sooner rather than later. Now he goes to Washington and replaces Kirk Cousins. 2 different quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins a little more of the freewheeling sort. Alex Smith more deliberate, more controlled, but can still throw that dagger pass downfield.
Here we go, the first carry for the former Viking Peterson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Hey, back up.
To throw on 2nd down to Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. And a quick look at Washington's offense.
Jordan Reed's coming off of an injury-plagued season that set him back and held him to just 6 games. And Washington's definitely hoping he can get back to his 2016 Pro Bowl form. That made him one of the most dangerous tight ends in the game. And in fact, when he runs routes, it's often equated to a basketball player with a great crossover move. A lot of guys just can't stick with him.
15, yeah.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Will we peer ahead to the Minnesota Vikings' early season schedule after a 3-1 preseason? They will start it out by hosting the 49ers, and then they go to Green Bay. That's an interesting Week 2 matchup. But what are you thinking of the Vikings? Obviously, high expectations.
High expectations, and they're not shy about facing them, and they're also not shy about making some changes in hopes of getting over the hump and getting to the Super Bowl. New quarterback in Kirk Cousins. Dalvin Cook comes back off of injury to reassume the lead running back role. And on the defensive side of the ball, they acquired Sheldon Richardson from Seattle, hoping he'll get back to his Pro Bowl level. He's on a 1-year contract, so he's betting on himself. Oh, and by the way, they actually changed out the punter in preseason as well. This team is aiming for the Super Bowl.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Now Cousins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now it's Crowder pushing through tacklers at the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Washington, they get ready to go again here on offense. And let's look at the first 4 weeks for them in the regular season since we're getting ready for Week 1. And you stole my schedule. I don't have it memorized. Who are the first 4 weeks?
Well, they open at Arizona, home for Indianapolis and Green Bay, and then they go to New Orleans. So to me, the way the schedule is set up, Alex Smith now the new quarterback, Adrian Peterson to supplement the run game, but I think that Trent Williams, back healthy at left tackle, that may be the key piece for them. To me, they've got to win the first 2 ball games if they want to chase down Philadelphia in the NFC East.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Smith. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
first down. Here's a run with Peterson. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
To throw is Smith. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On first down, it's Smith. He's going to air one out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Smith throwing again. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Sheldon Richardson continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. Richardson, the former NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year back in 2013.
Yeah, just remember, this guy's talent is absolutely undeniable. And don't worry about his sack numbers. He's rushing from the inside most of the time, but he creates such havoc getting back to the quarterback, breaks down pockets left and right.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. A shotgun snap for Smith. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there. So go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick 6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it. And
looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now we look at Josh Doctson. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run, maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Now Smith, escaping the pressure right. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And off comes to Peterson. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's brought down. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Smith now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Josh Doxson's got it, complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. From the gun, here's Smith. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Smith now to throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Trey Wayne's the Michigan State man right there in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He probably wants to improve how he's been playing. There's no doubt about that. But you don't want to overthink it too much and reinvent the wheel when your team's up, right?
That's so true. Because now if you're just worried about how you're playing, even though the team's winning, that's a selfish side of you that you don't want out there. And that's not what the best quarterbacks exhibit. So here's an opportunity to go ahead and guide the team, try and get better as the game goes along. But remember, your team's winning. Things are pretty good.
Yeah, they've got the advantage. We'll see how he does personally here this drive. Throwing his Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side.
Offside defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a
Still
whole
first
lot,
down.
does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. A handoff. It's Murray. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They go back to Murray on 1st down. They find some open field here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
First down, here's the move with Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job. Hey, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Listen to me. Wide, wide. 53's the mic. 53. Check 53. Gun. Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
To throw, Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Facing a fourth down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
I always laugh when I see guys like Deron Payne play because their ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage, to find weak spots in the offensive front and get upfield and make plays. That's what they call playing the piano in the NFL. Those guys who can move it and then get to the quarterback.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays when the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Cook following the penalty. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Carlson able to put this one through. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL, give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Carlson now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. A good pickup there, a 22.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves that you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart, started adding to it, and here we are today. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's Smith now on second down. This one caught by Crowder, and he's brought down. First catch for the Redskins, leader in the receiving yardage category a year ago. Good for a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Smith, and an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Smith to throw on second down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Redskins on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Now Smith. And this is caught in the end zone. It's Dotson for the Redskins touchdown. Josh Doxson, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. Hopkins with the extra point, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
Good job by this defense. They're now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3-and-out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Crowder now to return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And a tight ball game here, and in these close ones, every drive becomes magnified.
And we don't want to overuse the word critical, but it feels that way as they head out there for this possession. They need to get the ball back and give their offense a chance to get them totally back into this game.
Let's see if the defense can do just that here. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Smith going to throw again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity. Just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Redskins on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Smith. And this one is incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Here's Tressway now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
We're going. Let's go.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. He's got room to run past the 20. It's a foot race. He's at the 40. And down to the 28-yard line. A big play there out of Cook. 62 yards. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's the pickup you want on 1st down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on 1st down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
Here we go. Here we go. Go ahead. Hey, the hot.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down.
Spurs.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They go play action. Cousins. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Carlson is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the young men. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old-school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They give it to Peterson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try the air now with Smith. A quick hitter complete. It's Reed. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down. From the red zone now, Smith. Out to the left, it's complete to Donaldson. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Settle down, huh? Orange.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Flushed out right. Touchdown, Redskins. Well, the defensive coverage was good. So good, he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And an alley to run. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Lucky 48.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So it wasn't the line that jumped that time, the second level.
No, that's a
Automatic
great
first down.
observation because most of the time it's those guys up front so eager to get off on the snap. They do it, but in this case, you're exactly right. Second level, probably because they moved up to the first level, and that hurts them.
Now again, this is Murray, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Murray. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Lucky 48. Rhino. We're going. Let's go. 2. Black.
Cousins to throw. And he finds Clark. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hey, Ringo, 48. Go hard. 180.
we're good. Two.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
We're good.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Yellow. Go ahead.
Cook. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it.
We're going. Let's go.
Now Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
It's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. Jordan Reed has it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That, the definition of a do-or-die play, but they keep this overtime session going with a 1st down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.